Good afternoon, my name is Catherine Melo. Welcome to the news. Let's begin with the kitchen section. There is a delicious recipe. There are cheese fingers. Let's begin with the ingredients. 2 cups of white flour, 3 eggs, 10 ounces double cream cheese, half a cup of sugar, and now the instructions. Step 1. Put the white flour on a white plate and the bread crumb on another plate. Also, then scramble the eggs and leave them there. Step 2. We cut the cheese into strips of 5 centimeters long and then we pass the strip of cheese through the plate of scrambled eggs, then through the plate of wheat flour, and finally the bread crumbs. They will remain like a finger-shaped dot. We sprinkle with sugar and take it to refrigerate for about 2 hours. Step 3. When the fingers are ready with a hard consistency, we fry it in a pan with preheated oil. This is already to serve. Delicious, no? Let's continue with the international news. Do we need an equal rights amendment? What's happening? Next year we mark 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment to the US Constitution, which gave the women the right to vote. That centennial could coincide with yet another change to the country's founding document centered on equality between the sexes. The Equal Rights Amendment. The proposed amendment would allow discrimination on the basis of sex. Women's rights activists began campaigning for the era shortly after women's suffrage was passed, and the movement came incredibly close to achieving its goals. In the 1970s, by 1972, the amendment had been passed in both houses of Congress with strong majorities, meaning it would become a law once ratified by 38 states. Over the course of the following 6 years, 35 states had approved the era, but the momentum was halted amidst strong conservative oppositions. The amendment sat in legislative limbo for 4 decades before Nevada unacceptedly ratified in 2017. Illinois did the same a year later. When Democrats take control of the Virginia state legislature next month, it looks likely that the amendment will finally be approved by the 38th state before the era could become law. However, Congress would have to vote to avoid a deadline placed in the original bill, which expired in 1982. Another international news, Weinstein and his accuser reached tentative 25 million deal. After 2 years of legal war line, Harvey Weinstein and the board of his bankrupt film studio have researched a tentative 25 million settlement agreement with dozens of his alleged sexual misconduct victims, a deal that would not require the Hollywood producer to admit wrongdoing or pay anything to his accuser himself, according to lawyers involved in the negotiation. The proposed global legal settlement has gotten preliminary approval from all the major parties involved. According to several of the lawyers, more than 30 actresses and former Weinstein employees who in lawsuit have accused Weinstein of offenses range from sexual harassment to rape would share in the payout along with the potential claimants who could join in coming months. The deal would bring to an end nearly every such lawsuit against him and his farmer company. That's terrible. Another international news is Greta Thunberg is Time's 2019 Person of the Year. Greta Thunberg sits in silence in the cabin of the boat that will take her across the Atlantic Ocean. Inside, there's a cow skull hanging on the wall, a faded glove, a child's yellow raincoat. Outside it's a tempest. Rain pelts the boat, ice coats the desk, and the sea butters the vessel that will take this slight girl, her father, and a few companions from Virginia to Portugal. For a moment, it is if Thunberg were the eye of the hurricane, a pool of resolve at the center of swirling chaos. In here, she speaks quietly. Out there, the entire natural world seems to amplify her small voice, screaming along with her. We can't just continue living as if there was not tomorrow, because there is a tomorrow, she says, turning on the sleeve of her blue sweatshirt. That is all we are saying. It's a simple truth, delivered by a teenager girl in a fateful moment. The sailboat La Vagabonde will shepherd Thunderberg to the port of Lisbon, and from there she will travel to Madrid, where the United Nations is hosting his year climate conference. And for finish this section of news, let's talk about one film that is beautiful for kids, Frozen 2. Frozen 2 is a 2019 American 3D computer animated musical fantasy film produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios. The 58 animated film produced by the studio. It is the sequel to the 2013 film. Queen Elsa, her sister Anna, Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven embark on a new journey deep in the forest beyond their homeland of Arendelle to discover the truth about an ancient mystery of their kingdom. Its main objective is to discover why Elsa hears voices coming from the enchanted forest, where for a long time no one can enter or leave. Faithful to do so, his kingdom would be in danger. So it's all for today. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow with more news. Bye bye.